Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of True Myths, One Lie, the game show in the form of a podcast all about myths, urban legends, conspiracies, all of the things that we don't fully understand. I'm your host, Anthony Manella, and the way that the game works is I'm going to tell 3 stories, 2 of which are from people that claim that these things have really happened, and 1 that is completely made up. It is up to my guests and everyone at home to try and figure out which story is the fake one. Today's first guest once got asked out to prom, and it was completely a prank. Ryan McCauley.
Is that true?
What?
It was true, but I mean, it wasn't like
I just left out details, but it is true.
There's a lot of details left out that make it seem worse than it is. I mean, it was pretty horrible, but it was like,
wow.
I don't even want to talk about it.
It's not even a funny prank.
No, it wasn't like someone asked me out, like asked to like be my girlfriend or like the date, and that was a prank. And then it was like, surprise, someone else asked me to prom. It was very weird. It was just one of the most uncomfortable moments of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Today's second guest can swallow an entire piece of paper on a whim with no water or anything. He'll do it right now if I ask him to. Andrew Heinlein.
Do you have a piece of paper?
Please don't do it.
I wish
Please
I did,
don't.
but I don't. And today's third guest once had a celebrity try and shake his hand, and instead he just turned around and walked the other way. Christopher Manella, my brother.
Yeah.
Ooh, what celebrity?
Beck from Victorious.
Really?
Yeah.
Evan Jogia
Jogia.
went to shake Toph's hand, and he goes, "Hey," and then Christopher turns around and walks away.
Didn't see him. I was 8. Did not see him do that.
So funny.
It is funny.
This little
And then-
8-year-old just disrespects.
And then our dad was like, "Hey, Beck." Didn't know his real name.
Yeah, I wouldn't know his real name. He's so handsome.
Anyway, we have to take a quick break. We will be right back. So, for my audio listeners, I'm eating cereal. I always loved cereal as a kid. It was my favorite part of every morning. In fact, it was maybe the only thing about the school day that I looked forward to, but that's not important. But then as you get older, you realize, this is just full of sugar and it's junk, and I really shouldn't be eating this. So, I'm not gonna have this every morning anymore. Magic Spoon might have found the solution to that. All of the frosted, fruity, chocolatey cereals that you had growing up, maybe you can still have them, but healthier for adults. They literally make cereal that tastes like kids' cereal, but it's actually nutritious. And if you don't believe me, it has 0 grams of sugar, 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. Also, only 140 calories. You can try all 4 of their best-selling flavors in a variety pack that comes with fruity, cocoa, frosted, and peanut butter. It's also keto-friendly, gluten-free, soy-free, and grain-free. It seriously takes me back. Like, with every single bite, I can literally hear the school bus driving up my block. Click the link below to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use the promo code TRUE at checkout to get $5 off any order. Or go to magicspoon.com/true. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Also, for my Canadian and British fans, Magic Spoon is now shipping to Canada and the UK. So click the link below and use the code TRUE to get $5 off, or go to magicspoon.com/true to save $5 today. Thank you to Magic Spoon for sponsoring today's episode.
Not really like a donut person.
I mean, I am.
Ryan.
Comes with the territory.
Ketchup donut.
And we are back. Okay, so guys, do you have any idea what today's topic could be?
Wizards.
Warlocks.
Dragons.
Think more about like our universe.
Dragons
world.
would be cool.
Our
Ooh, universe.
Aliens?
Oh, is it time travel?
You could argue that.
Alternate
but
universes?
You could argue that too. It's like
Parallel universes.
they're
that's what I was gonna
basically
say.
they're all subcategories for this. We are talking about
Dimensions.
glitches in our dimension, glitches in our matrix.
Yo, this happens all the time. I kid you not. I think I've said it
Yeah.
before. Sometimes you're like in an experience, you're like, wait a second. I swear I've been here before. I've seen this before.
That's like
So,
the deja vu
that's-
thing, right?
That's
Yeah.
more deja vu. This is a little different.
I'm not talking like regular deja vu, like, oh, this seems familiar. It's like, I've seen this all before and done this all before.
This is more along the lines of crazy, bizarre things of possibly alternate dimensions converging with ours, possibly some sort of time travel. I read these and I'm mind blown because they're so cool and I want them to be real so badly. Would you guys believe in the possibility of glitches in our world?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what stresses me out about it.
Yeah.
I have a request, Anthony.
Yes.
Can we start out with story number 3 today?
You really want to do that? I could go out of order. It doesn't really matter.
It just feels appropriate for the topic.
Yeah, it does. Let's go backwards. Ryan?
It's gonna confuse me beyond
I
belief.
think I'm gonna get way too confused, honestly.
All right, start story one. Story one.
Okay.
All right.
Not that we'll know
was
the
just trying to be
difference
silly.
between the three anyway. It's just
For you
what
guys, it
label
wouldn't matter. Yeah.
Oh, that is true.
No, because you're
Just
gonna.
go in order.
It's gonna confuse you.
It is going to confuse me. Story number 1. So there's a couple. They were going to see a movie, but they wanted to go pick up a pack of cigarettes before the movie. So they go do this. Doing this made them late for the movie, so they didn't get a chance to smoke before the movie. So they rush into the theater, and after the movie's over, they run into a friend at the theater. And this guy says, hey, do you guys want to go have a smoke with me? The couple's like, yeah, sure. So they go outside, and they open their newly purchased pack of cigarettes, and she takes the plastic off. She throws the plastic out. She pulls out one cigarette for her and her boyfriend, and they share this first cigarette. As they're all hanging out there, some crazy guy comes up to them and he's like, hey, can I have a cigarette? And the girlfriend goes, no, I'm sorry, this was our last one.
What happened?
I'm imagining when you said some crazy guy came up to them, I'm imagining the homeless guy.
Hey, what
Trust me, it's
Can I have one of those?
trust me, it is not anything
I
like
saw you
that.
throw the package out. I know you have more.
So he must have seen her throw out the plastic or something, because he goes, I know you're lying to me. Why are you lying? Just give me a cigarette. And they kind of tried to just apologize and be like, sorry, dude, and like walk away. But he would not let them. He grabbed the girl's wrist and started yelling at her, screaming profanities. The boyfriend was like, all right, I'm not having this. So he steps in between them to protect his girlfriend. Before the guy knows what's happening, the boyfriend, he feels a pain in his stomach and his throat. And all he hears is his girlfriend screaming, stop, stop. And he hears the friend screaming, oh my God. This crazy guy started stabbing him and slit his throat. He feels his jacket getting wet. He looks down. He sees red all over his jacket. He's starting to lose consciousness. He can't hear anything. He's all of his senses start just going away. And everything just turns into like a hum. The last thing he remembers hearing is his girlfriend scream his name. Everything goes black. Then a white flash happens, and he's in the movie theater with his girlfriend. And the friend says, oh, like, sorry for startling you. You guys look pale as ghosts. Do you guys want to go outside and have a cigarette? And him and the girlfriend look at each other, and they go, no, we're good. They get to their car. They don't speak a word to each other. She pulls out the pack of cigarettes from her pocket, and the plastic is gone, and there is one cigarette missing. They're leaving the parking lot, and they see the same guy walking through the parking lot who stabs them. The girlfriend screams. They get all the way home. They sit on their bed. They start crying in each other's arms, and she reassures her boyfriend that he is not crazy. The same thing happened to her. After he was getting stabbed, the only thing she had time to do was scream his name, and then she started getting stabbed too. And then she saw a white flash, and they both woke up back in the theater again as if nothing happened. Maybe this was the universe giving them a second chance or warning them. Who knows? That is the end of story number 1. Go.
That was crazy.
Yeah. It's almost like we have a set timeline, and if something messes it up, it's like, nope, this is the way it's supposed to go. It's not going to go this way, you creepy homeless man who stabbed them. They're supposed to live their life still. They have more to do. But then who is this homeless man? Is he the glitch? Like, I don't understand.
Right? It
It's
felt
the
like
Matrix.
a precognition type
That's what I was
thing
thinking.
too. Like they saw the future, and I was thought it was weird that the girlfriend also saw it. Like
Both
I thought
saw
it was
it.
That's why it's not a precognition story.
right.
Also,
They,
because the
they,
cigarette's
they
actually
died
missing.
and got a second chance at life. The universe like brought them back, and they
Is that
both
what
experienced
happened?
it. Yeah.
Or is it that they just saw ahead of time? Like
No, they felt everything.
Because then
Premonition?
the cigarette's also missing. Like, you can't just, the cigarette
Yeah,
wouldn't
okay,
just
yeah,
disappear.
wait, yeah. Let's go back to that. When they went outside to smoke with the friend was when they removed the plastic and took the cigarette out,
Correct.
right? Then when they were leaving, when they were alive and didn't actually die, the plastic was missing and
Plastic
the
was
cigarette
missing,
was
and that one single cigarette was also missing.
It seems almost like like an ad to stop smoking.
Oh yeah.
yeah, right.
Don't smoke. You'll end up
You'll end up
with a
getting
slit throat.
stabbed.
By a homeless guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never said he was homeless. You insinuated he was
Oh
homeless.
wait, you never said that he
I
was
never
homeless?
said homeless.
He said crazy.
Was it like Final Destination?
I wasn't there.
He sees the plane crash, but he doesn't get on the plane after.
So what you're saying is if they went out and smoked with him, and they refused to give him a cigarette again, it would have all happened.
Yeah,
the
it
same
would have just
exact
happened
way.
the same way.
Okay, I got nothing. Go ahead.
All right. Story number 2.
This is mind blowing.
Story number 2.
All right. Story number 2. So there's a man who works in a juvenile detention center. He shows up to work one night, and his supervisor goes, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he goes, "I work tonight." The supervisor says, "Yeah, but you just called out before and told us you were sick and that you weren't coming in." And our main character goes, "No, I didn't. That must have been someone else." So confused, but whatever. So this guy goes and he relieves the guard that's on duty for the night. He takes the place, and while he's hanging out there, he goes and checks the messages. And he does see a call from himself saying, "Hey, after the storm that we had last night, I was out cleaning up after it, and I got sick in the storm, and I'm not gonna be able to make it to work today." Now, he's mind blown by this because there was a storm the night prior, but he does not remember going out and cleaning up after it. He does not remember getting sick or making this call or anything, but he sounds like him. So he's talking to the supervisor about this and how weird it is. So the guy says, "Let me call my wife and tell her about this. This is really bizarre." He calls her, and a man picks up the phone. And he hears a voice saying, "Hello?" The main character was not expecting to hear a man's voice. So he goes, "Who is this?" The man on the phone says, "Taylor." That is the same name as our main character's guy. He says, "Where's Anne?" who is his wife. The guy on the phone goes, "She's in bed." "Who is this?" Super freaked out, he turns to his supervisor and they're looking at each other and he's like, "I gotta go." This guy wants to rush home, so he sprints out of there. While he's running out, he hears the supervisor pick up the phone and say hello to talk to the other version of him on the phone. Our main character gets home and he finds his wife just sitting on the couch watching television. And he says, "Hey, who was here?" She goes, "No one was here." He explains to her what's going on. He goes to call his job back, so this way he can explain this and say like, "Hey, I don't know what's happening, but I'm gonna come back to work." When he tries to call back, the line is dead. He can't get through at all. He says, "Okay, I'm just gonna go into work." He drives back to work, and the supervisor says, "How are you doing this? I saw you running out, I saw you pulling out of the parking lot, but I was talking to you on the phone. And the other version of you was yelling at me, saying, 'Stop messing with me, stop prank calling me, I'm sick, leave me alone,' and hung up." So the main character says, "I'm just as confused as you are. I genuinely have nothing to do with this. I don't know what's going on either." They kind of just go back to work. They have no other choice but to just do what they were doing. The man finds out the storm took out the telephone line in his area, and he shouldn't have been able to even call his house to begin with, which is why he couldn't reach his job when he was calling from his own house. That is the end of story number 2. Discuss.
Initially, I think this is the fake one for one reason, because we just had a hurricane. Case closed. That's all I got.
Yeah, it's scary.
Like being married and working so far away. If I were to call my home and I hear my own voice, like good for that guy though. At least he's not at work.
The other thing too is like, I don't think I would go back to work. If I got home, if I heard my own voice on the other end, claiming to be with my wife, girlfriend, then like, if I drove all the way home to her, something's going on. Something weird is going on. I would not leave her alone in the house.
I feel like this topic is more scary than any cryptid. Agreed. This creeps me out so much more.
Kind of is, yeah.
Time is such a weird like concept.
Yeah, it
and
is.
All right, that's the thing with this story though. It is kind of confusing. So like, would this be the fake one? There was a whole lot of like talking to myself, and then I drive home, and then I call.
I don't think it was that confusing.
It was
a little
confusing, but it wasn't complex.
Yeah.
I found this one easier to follow than the first one.
Really?
Yeah, because there was so many different like weird things with the first one.
Like storms apparently also mess with like the natural electromagnetic fields on Earth, which is also another weird thing, right? Like during certain storms, like at work, sometimes our radios don't work correctly, and like that's a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what if you like your radios are working just fine, but you're not talking to the right person, or your phone for that matter? You're talking to a different universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Who knows?
It's very possible that there was, just like a weird overlap of universes. and then the store maybe caused the ability to communicate through.
Anyway,
Time for a game.
yeah,
On to a lighter topic.
we do have a little mini game. It's the same topic, however.
Great. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna give you 8 different scenarios here, okay? And it's called, is this a glitch in the Matrix or a glitch in a video game? So you guys have to guess if this is,
What the heck?
This topic is delicious. I was looking at it.
you have to guess if it's from a video game or if it's someone that they claim that this has really happened to them. I'll give you bonus points if you can guess which game it's from.
Wait, what do the bonus points do?
Nothing at all.
Okay.
Just
We want high risk, high reward.
no bonus points at all then.
Okay, bonus points. I'll take it.
Okay. Scenario number 1. A man walks into a doctor's office unannounced and something doesn't seem right. His face is all pixelated. Nothing else seems out of the ordinary. His dialogue appears unhindered. After walking out, he takes a seat in the waiting room and his face returns back to normal. Is this a video game or did this happen to someone in real life?
It sounds so
Real
much
life.
like a video game that it's probably real life.
Definitely real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, real life.
Correct. It is.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's terrifying. What?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think the person who saw him, this is probably from the perspective of the person that saw him, and the person that saw him probably just had something wrong with them that day.
Hopefully.
Number 2. A mother picks up her child from his crib and gently rocks him to hush his crying. But as she looks at her baby, she watches in horror as his eyes bulge from his head, his body contorts like out of an exorcism, and his limbs stretch like Slender Man.
I have to say video game for the hopes that it's a video game. Because I'm so
Agreed.
scared
That's
of
real.
the opposite.
Yeah.
Babies are already creepy enough to think of its eyes bulging out of its head and then its limbs stretching.
Video game, please.
Yeah.
Go with video game?
Yeah,
Please be a video game.
please.
It is a video game, but can you tell me which one?
Can we get a hint?
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be a hint.
It's kind of a chill game. Not a horror game or anything like that. It's pretty
What?
it's like a game that you go to just to like have fun. It's a
Animal Crossing.
free for all world.
My guess is Sims.
Ryan, you got it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, nice.
Okay, number 3. While swimming, a plump man explores dangerous waters and comes across a large drain pipe. He goes inside to get a closer look, but he ends up back where he started. And every single time that he does this, the same thing happens. He goes through and he ends up back where he started. Video game.
This is Super Mario. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is Super Mario.
Which one?
This is Super Mario.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is Super Mario.
A plump man. I was
Yeah, the second I heard that, I'm like, this is, and then goes in the water and there's a pipe. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was me at first, right?
I pictured you.
Yeah. I pictured myself too, but I knew it was
As a
Super
plump.
Mario.
Number 4. 2 young men get into a sword fight. A large katana is plunged into the heart of one of the young men. His body lies there, motionless, as he begins to rot. As the victorious man walks outside to have a cigarette, the freshly deceased man taps him on the shoulder as if nothing ever happened. Video game or real life?
Where in real life is there going to be a katana fight?
You do Taekwondo.
We don't fight with katanas.
You know what I was going to say? Leslie said cigarette? Nidhogg.
I was thinking when he said a victorious man, I was like, is it Robbie? Is it Beck? Nah, it's Psychowitz.
Yeah.
It seems like a weird video game glitch.
It
That like you kill the character and then he's just taps you on the shoulder and he's back.
But would he tap you on the shoulder? That's a weird detail.
That is a weird detail for a video game. Like that's
That wouldn't feel like a glitch to me. That would feel intended.
Right?
what time period are they like actually fighting and stabbing each other with swords?
In what video game do you watch a body decay?
Ryan has a point.
Like this story wouldn't even be recorded.
This has
Pirates?
to be...
Pirates.
Assassin's Creed.
Could be Dark Souls.
Could be Super Mario.
super. It's Animal Crossing.
If it is real life, they're lying.
So what do you say?
Video game, yeah.
Video game.
Video game.
Guys,
This is
someone
a lo-
claims this is real.
No,
There's
they're
no
lying.
way.
They are a big lying
No.
person.
Yo, it takes a long time for a body to begin to rot.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I'm just going by the description that was written.
Yeah, we
okay?
object. We're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Objection.
Objection.
Well, you're not right, but
We
you're
overpower.
probably right, but you're not right, if that makes sense. Okay. Number
Yeah,
5. A person is driving on a familiar roadway with friends while listening to music. As time goes on, the scene starts to become stale as the driver realizes they've been down this way only a few moments ago. Things begin to get even more eerie as the music they were once listening to gets louder, faster, and more anxiety-inducing. No matter how long they drive, they cannot seem to break the loop and they can't find a way out.
Like my initial thought was like, what kind of boring video game is this? We're just driving a car. And then I was like, okay,
Any
maybe
racing game?
maybe, or like maybe it's GTA.
The Cars game? For PlayStation 2?
Cars, the video game? No.
Well, I mean, like, could this happen in real life? Yeah, but I feel like it's more plausible to be in a video game. Like, I've experienced something like this in a video game.
Because, like, if you're in real life, you break the loop, you turn the radio off, you get out of the car.
Yeah.
You break the loop.
You're saying video game though?
I'm saying video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toph?
For an extra point, guess which game? So you're right.
Could be Crazy Taxi.
I was thinking that.
GTA is my best guess. Like, what other games are you driving a car?
He says he's cruising.
Forza, Need for Speed,
He says he's driving down the block with his best friends.
Carbon, Underground.
Is that what it was?
You're not gonna believe this? It's Mario Kart.
Oh my God! It's Mario
How?
Kart Double Dash.
I don't know. I don't know which game.
It's got to be an
but-
older one, right?
I guess you are kind of driving down the block with your best friends like Mario.
Yeah, yeah.
Loogie. Good old Loogie.
I pictured them all in one same car.
I'm upset missing that one. Yeah, I was thinking of same car too.
You really
but
missed the
Mario
mark.
Kart Double Dash, you have two people in the car.
Number 6. One night, a man is walking on a desert path. It's quiet and rather lonely. However, he treks on. Without warning, he falls through the desert floor and into a black void where the sensation of falling becomes overwhelming. He seems so lost in eternity. Without warning again, he's back on solid ground right where he started.
You said desert?
Yep.
Deserted or like desert like...
Okay.
Like DESERT, desert.
Like dessert. Like he's walking on ice cream.
No, that's 2 S's.
I know.
I can see this being a video game.
There
And there
is a
are
desert.
a lot of desert levels in Mario. Is this
the old Marios are super glitchy, and there's so
Yeah.
many speed runs that use the glitches.
Well, it's a glitch in the video game. Video game? Confirmed?
Yeah, video game confirmed.
Yeah.
It is Matrix. Someone says
Who
that this
just walks
happened.
through the desert? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is stupid.
Number 8, last one. A girl is in a pool at a hotel. She leaves the pool. She goes into a hotel elevator. You see her on the cameras. She disappears from all of the cameras. They can't find her in real life. She reappears on the same floor later that day with no explanation, and she's still wet. Video game or real life?
Real life. What video games are you swimming around in a pool?
Oh yeah, what video games are you a little girl?
No,
And you'll see
none.
it through-
I cannot think of a single
And you'll
video
see
game.
it through the security camera? Like, that's a vague, like, weird detail.
Yeah.
Unless this is like also Sims.
I'm not at Freddy's.
No, I would know.
So, real life? Do
Yeah.
It is real life.
you want us to guess the game still?
We're gonna get into story number 3. After we take a quick break, we will be right back. So picture this. You're waking up at 6 a.m. to go to school. You're tired, you're exhausted, you're miserable. But the one thing that you have to look forward to is... For the audio listeners, I just took a bite of cereal. It's that. It's cereal. You eat cereal. Let's be real. It's the best part of every kid's morning. But then you get older and you realize you have to cut back on that because, I mean, it's not really healthy. It's basically just a giant bowl of sugar for breakfast. But what if I told you that there's a solution? And today's sponsor, Magic Spoon, has figured it out. Magic Spoon makes cereal that tastes like kids' cereal, but it's actually healthy and for adults. It has 0 grams of sugar, 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. Also, only 140 calories. Their 4 best-selling flavors are cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter, and they all come in a variety pack. Plus, they have other great flavors like cookies and cream, maple waffles, cinnamon, and blueberry, and I definitely need to try the cookies and cream one. And on top of all the nutritional values, it's also keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, and soy-free. So far, out of the ones I've tried, my personal favorite is the frosted. I think it's so good, but I let my friend Andrew try the peanut butter one. I can't try that one because I'm allergic. However, he said that one is amazing. So, yeah. Click the link below to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use the promo code TRUE at checkout for $5 off any order. Or go to magicspoon.com/true. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Also, for my Canadian and British fans, Magic Spoon is now shipping to Canada and the UK. So click the link below and use the code TRUE for $5 off, or go to magicspoon.com/true to save $5 today. Thank you again to Magic Spoon for sponsoring today's episode. And we are back. All right, guys, you ready to hear story number 3?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Story number 3. So there are a couple of kids. It's their freshman year of college, and they got invited to a party right after their finals. So it's the end of the year. they've been going to one specific house for parties throughout the whole year, and this is like their last hurrah together before they all disperse for summer vacation. One of the friends is really excited about seeing one particular girl there, and he's taken... What is funny about that?
Sorry.
He's taken a very...
That's disgusting. What happened? Girls have cooties.
Oh.
Good.
True. It was just that girls have cooties into the mic instead of finishing the story. My goodness. This is Andrew gets into my brain. This is what he does. Okay, so the guy's taking a really long time to get ready, and all of his friends are like, dude, you're the one with the car. None of us have a car on campus. We're waiting on you. And he's like, all right, finally, I'm ready. They're all just being goofballs in the car, and they're not really paying attention to the road. This is where things take a turn. So they've been to this house. Yeah, they literally take a turn. Usually when they show up to this house, that house has lights on, there's people everywhere, you can hear music playing, there's cars lined up all across the road. It looks like a house that is having a party. And they don't see any line of cars there. Now, they were already late because this guy took so long to get ready. So they're like, there's no way that we're early, that we're the first ones here. And it looks old and decrepit, and it's just like falling apart. It looks like the house has been vacant for such a long time. No one has lived there. And they're so confused. They're like, do we have the wrong address? Do we have the wrong night for the party? And after some discussion, they finally figure, like, no, we definitely have the right address. We've been here before. We definitely have the right night. Something doesn't seem right. So one of the kids says, let's go up to the door. So they get out of the car. When they go to push the front door, they see that it's already open. They push the door a little bit more, and all of a sudden, there are tons of people in the house. The lights are on, and they're like, where did this come from? There's music blaring. They turn around, and they see people on the front lawn, on the driveway, having fun, having a good time, line of cars everywhere. The kids go and question some of the people at the party, like, hey, like, you didn't see like an old decrepit house or anything, do you? Like, how did everyone show up out of nowhere? Like, what just happened? And everyone at the party is like, you guys are crazy. We have no idea what you're talking about. They stay the night. The next morning when they wake up, they're going to leave, and their car is nowhere to be found. They have no explanation for this. And that is the end of story number 3. I'm gonna give you guys some time to discuss. Go.
How'd they get home?
Their car got stolen?
Well,
It's in the other universe.
It's funny because I was thinking that. I was like, oh, when they push open the door, like they got like front row parking, like best spot in the lot. And then like all these cars showed up, like, is the car on top of their car now?
Oh, yeah. It's probably like that. Like their
It's
car,
gone.
once they like return, their car like could not be there anymore, so it had to get removed.
I want to rule out number
Late.
1.
They were late. The people in the first story were late to the movies.
This guy's good. He's on to
Okay.
something. Number 3 is
Hey.
fake.
What? No.
It could be 1 still. Both times they were late.
I'm trying to think of
So
number
what about
2.
what happened in number 2?
The guy
The juvenile
go to
hall.
work, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Called his house and he picked up. He talked to
Right.
himself.
Well, I'm gonna recap all 3.
I don't want you
You
to.
don't have to. I have a photogenic memory.
Could you for me?
None of us want you to recap the story.
Andrew
I
just
do.
asked.
During number 1, recap.
What?
Can you recap them all like that?
Sure. Story number 1, recap. Couple goes to the movies. They share a cigarette with a friend after the movie. Some guy comes up asking for a cigarette. They lie, say they don't have any. This guy gets very mad at them for lying and stabs both the man and his girlfriend. They later wake up in the theater as if nothing had happened. They're totally fine. They get in the car and their cigarette is still missing. Story number 2, guy shows up to work. Supervisor's confused because he said that he called out, and he does see a message from himself on the answering machine. He hears his own voice talking back at him on the phone, goes to his house, goes back to work, super confused. Story number 3, some kids are going to a college party. They show up to the house. There's absolutely no one there. Old decrepit house in place of the actual house. No one's on the road. They open the door. Everything is back to normal. The next morning, their car is missing. Those are your 3 stories. I'm going to give you guys some time to discuss and then make your final decisions. Go.
I don't even know where to start with any of this.
Yeah, me neither. They're all 3 of them are like good stories. I will say that.
This is really tough because I don't even have one that I'm like, yeah, this is definitely not it.
I feel like I'm leaning towards 1.
I still want to say it's number 2.
Oh no.
I want to say 3.
Oh no.
1,
Wait.
2, and 3 over here. Okay.
But I mean, all right. So you thought it was 2 and you thought it was 3. So let's hear why.
Told you why I think it's number 2.
I like the number 3.
I think that I think the number 2 is putting in those extra things to make you be like, oh yeah, this really happened. He called my boss first, and I called him back and talked to him. I asked about Ann, and then I went and talked to Ann, and she's like, I've been home my whole time. And then I try and call my boss, and my boss ain't there, so I go see my boss. No rational person would do any of that.
Well, I want to hear why Christopher thinks it's 3.
Yeah, I want to hear that too.
I initially thought it might be 3 also, because it's believable.
That's such a weird experience for 4 people to share. Seems so unbelievable to me.
Yeah, there were 4 people that experienced it in that one. In 1, there was 2
All
people, and in 2, there was
3 people.
the man. 2, I guess, the wife didn't experience it. Number 1 maybe wasn't written because, like, it is weird that they died and came back. But, like, story number 2, something with the phone thing is something that's a little more, like, that someone would come up with when they think of this sort of thing.
I'm leaning towards 2. I'm not confident in anything anymore. The show makes me very unconfident.
Watch it be 3.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. But, like, I still really want to rule out 3.
Well, the reason
I'm going to need your final decision.
I'm saying 2.
Okay, I'll go with 2.
You don't think it's 1?
I do think it's 1, but I also think it's 2. I don't know.
What is happening?
This is hard. We are forfeiting the game. We are locking in story number 1, 2, 3.
1, 2,
Oh
or 3.
my goodness.
We're going with 2. 2?
You're going with 2?
Yeah, we're going with 2. We're going with 2.
All right, 2.
Guys, I'm so sorry. It's not 2.
Oh, no way!
It's not.
It's story 1?
It's story 3.
What? I'm leaving!
I'm also leaving.
So it's just me and Andrew left at the table because Ryan and Toph just walked out. Toph did say 3. He called it. All right, Andrew, you're the only one left with me, so you gotta. All right, go ahead. Give me your feelings.
I feel real bad. That's terrible.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
This is like a post-game interview, I feel like. Feels really bad. Like I just lost a Super Bowl. Then again, I am pretty notorious for losing.
On the bright side, that means that people swear that 1 and 2 are true, and those stories are so cool.
They are cool. I mean, that gives me hope. Like, if I get stabbed, maybe I'll survive. My team's coming back.
Ryan and Toph are sitting back down.
Hey, fellas.
Toph, at least you could say you were onto it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for playing. Thank you guys so much for listening. For those of you who are listening anywhere where you get your podcasts, make sure to give it a rate and review. It'll really help us out. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast for free. If you're watching the video version over on our YouTube channel, make sure to give the video a like, leave a comment letting us know what you thought, and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss when we post new episodes. If you have stories of your own, make sure to send them to truemythsonlie@gmail.com or to my Instagram @culture35, whichever you prefer. I'd love to hear your stories. I can use fake ones for the lies, or I can use real ones for the real ones. That is about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys again next Friday with a brand new comedy skit and on Tuesday with a brand new episode of the podcast. Bye, guys.